blowout. 8th inning, 10-3. Bases are loaded for Verlander, who waits on a 3-0 pitch. He swings, and it's a high fly ball, deep center field. It is gone! Home run! And a huge bat flip to celebrate. All right, Ben, start the show already.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into this special edition of Flippin' Bats. We are just minutes away from Team Japan against Team Italy in the quarterfinal matchup taking place in the Tokyo Dome. I am joined, as always, by Alex Curry. Alex, I will be up. I am pumped up. This is going to be an awesome game for so many different reasons, but we're getting a quarterfinal, and we're getting it in the Tokyo Dome, and we're getting it with this Team Japan team that is truly, really, really talented.
Oh, this team is everything we thought they would be and more. But this night is going to be a historic night for the team of Japan and the fans of Japan because they have Shohei Ohtani taking the mound and then splitting time with Yu Darvish in this game. They are getting their back-to-back heroes pitching in one game here tonight.
How cool is that? It's a literal dream come true for a lot of Team Japan fans. I mean, look, what Shohei and Yu Darvish mean to the nation is more than just baseball players, you know? Like, these guys were fans of them, and then they went over to the United States and have dominated, and with Shohei in particular, he's become a hero, for lack of a better term, an idol to people. And to have them both pitch in this game, Shohei handing off the ball to Yu Darvish, it's a dream come true. It's a tough matchup for Team Italy, that's for sure. But what this means for the entire nation, for all of Japan, in the final game in the Tokyo Dome in this World Baseball Classic, to have Shohei on the mound and Yu Darvish as well, they're guys. It's a dream come true in many ways.
Yeah, it's going to be special. And as a whole, Team Japan has really been everything we thought they would be. But if you needed to kind of corner and break down their strengths, what would you say Team Japan's strengths have been in this tournament?
I got to point to their pitching. First and foremost, it starts with their pitching. I think Team Japan, top to bottom, has had the least holes on their team. But where it starts for me is their pitching. The starting pitching has been so good. It started in game one with Shohei. Yu Darvish was pretty good. Roki Sasaki was really good. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was lights out. The bullpen, Shosei Togo, the Imanaga. I can keep listing off these names of how dominant these guys were for this team. So for me, with Team Japan, it starts with the pitching, and who better could you want than those two guys on the mound? So I'm really excited for this team, and I think the pitching is where it starts, but not where it finishes. This offense is more than capable of putting up tons of runs, but I've been blown away, Alex, by the pitching. A lot of people in America knew the name. Everybody knows the name Shohei Ohtani.
Yes, we do.
Darvish. A lot of people have started to learn the name Roki Sasaki, I feel like, or maybe that's just me being naive because I talk about him all the time. But the guys on this team that have been lights out that I didn't even really know about, Shosei Togo has been super good. Shota Imanaga, who I actually got to watch pitch in person in Japan when I went there. And just the answer to your question, without me ranting for too much longer, is the pitching.
Well, I want you to keep ranting, but I also want you to put on your Japan jersey because I know you brought it. This thing is beautiful. Can you just take a moment and put this on? Yeah. Please. Because the thing's a thing of beauty.
It's a must.
Yeah. Let's just take a moment here.
Here it is. My team jersey.
It is beautiful. Ohtani, of course. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, we talked about their strengths here. I don't know if you can even say that Team Japan has any weaknesses, but we've also haven't really seen them be tested the same way that we've seen top teams be tested back here in the United States.
That's definitely true. I would tend to want to disagree about the way they've been battle tested because I think the majority of the world vastly underappreciated Team Australia and how good they actually were. those guys raked.
Mhm.
They hit really well. Their team offense was really good. They had some really solid professional baseball players in that lineup. Pitching wasn't great, but what they did was they really matched up well with everybody. So have they been battle tested like playing the team Dominicans and Venezuelas and Puerto Ricos and USAs of the world? No, they haven't. But what they have shown me with their pitching and their ability to put up runs in bunches and their ability to strike so quickly, it'll seem like their offense is struggling. Use the Czech Republic game, for example. It'll seem like the offense is struggling, and the next thing you know, you go to on a bathroom break, and they've put up 8 runs, and it happens just like that. The pitch is great. The offense can score in bunches, and they play really, really sound defense. This Team Japan squad is the whole package.
They are. But let's head to the other dugout right now and talk Team Italy. Now, they had one of the purest moments in the tournament that we've seen when they found out that they were moving on to the quarterfinals, because every team in their pool finished 2-2. They found out by watching on the field. Jumbotron came on and said, "Congratulations, Team Italy." Here they are, and now they're facing one of the favorites in the tournament, Team Japan. What can we expect to see from Team Italy tonight?
What everybody should expect to see, first and foremost, and probably the most important, is that Team Italy is all going to have great mustaches. Every single
they
one.
Are.
They have great mustaches, thanks to the Dark Knight who shaved a mustache, and then the rest of the team, including Hall of Fame catcher Mike Piazza, who is the manager of this team, he followed suit. Also, what you can expect, good offense. Nicky Lopez batting .500 with 7 RBIs in this tournament. Vinny Pasquantino, who's nicknamed the Italian Nightmare, hasn't exactly gotten going, hitting .235 in this tournament, but probably the best hitter in this deep lineup. Brett Sullivan, the catcher, batting .400. Frelick, the left fielder, batting .389. Offense is what this team is good at. Pitching, perhaps not so much. Matt Harvey has been really good for them in this tournament, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But he's not available to pitch in this game. So what will Team Italy have on the mound? Time will tell. But this good offense is more than capable of getting shut down by Shohei Ohtani and Yu Darvish.
Yeah, when you're facing two of the greatest pitchers in Japanese history, is going to be a tough game all around.
So on the mound for Team Italy, what you can expect is a guy named Ryan Castellani, and he's a second rounder for the Colorado Rockies in 2014. So this guy, he's got tons of pro ball experience, a long time in the pros. He's going to be on the mound, second rounder for the Rockies. Look, I'm not going to get too carried away here. As long as Team Japan, Alex, does what they do best.
Yeah.
And that's play sound baseball with timely hitting and really good pitching. This Italy team should not. Now it's baseball, right?
And it's one game.
And it's one game, which is stressful.
Very stressful.
Should not give them much trouble. If they play 10 times, if they played 100 times, they should beat them 95 times. But there's always that chance, right? So time will tell. This team can hit. The guys got to make their pitches, but I have no doubts that they will.
It's going to be a fun one coming up in just a moment here. But pool play finally finished here on the stateside. USA defeated Colombia today 3-2. Came down to the wire. A little stressful there in the 9th inning. But Mike Trout, Captain America, driving in all 3 runs for Team USA today, did exactly what they needed him to do.
Mike Trout is one of the GOATs. He's one of the greatest of all time. And to see the way he took a Team USA team that desperately needed help, a direction, like a feeling of how to get going in this WBC. Well, Mike Trout, who's the captain of this team, took him under their wing and said, I got you guys. And ever since he did that, we've seen a homer, we've seen a triple, we've seen tons of RBIs. This is the Mike Trout that Angels fans see all the time, and Japanese fans watching Shohei see all the time. Is one of the greatest players of all time, and Mike Trout has taken over. They did end up beating Colombia in a close one, but look, we've seen it before. Colombia can pitch.
Yeah.
They have a couple guys in that bullpen that are nasty, and the goal, and the one goal, was to win the game.
They did it.
Win survive and advance. And Team USA did that. They advance on to play Venezuela in the quarterfinals after beating Team Colombia and becoming the number 2 seed in Pool C.
All right, well, let's move on to another win and you're in game today. This was Puerto Rico against the Dominican Republic. Puerto Rico came out on fire and ended up winning this game. And I think they went from the highest of high moment winning the game to everybody in tears when Edwin Diaz went down with a knee injury during their post-game celebration.
I think this is the game that everybody had circled when the WBC starts. It's like, wait a second, Pool D is crazy.
Yeah.
And then the final matchup of Pool D is the Dominican Republic against Puerto Rico. And I can promise you everybody had it circled because this was a 7 o'clock Eastern time game. At 9 o'clock, the stands were filling up. The parking lots were crazy with Dominican and Puerto Rican fans. The vibes were so high around this game, and it ended up being an unbelievable game. But like you mentioned, the feeling around it turned very quickly when the Mets closer and the closer for Team Puerto Rico, Edwin Diaz, who is the best closer in the game of baseball, while celebrating, got hurt, went down to the ground, ended up having to get carried and put in a wheelchair to get off the field. Just a complete 180 of emotions from players being so happy to immediately being heartbroken. Yeah. I was heartbroken watching it. Just as a fan of the sport, to see a player like that, to see a player in general go down in that way in that moment was heartbreaking. So, yes, a truly great game from the very beginning. Turned out to be this situation put a damper on the entire day, really.
It was a freak accident. And the craziest thing is this can happen in a tournament. This can happen in spring training. This can happen walking in the clubhouse or in the dugout. And it's just really unfortunate that it happened at the end of an incredible game and that we're losing one of the best players in that position in the game. But you can't downplay what Puerto Rico did tonight, knocking out the Dominican Republic, who was favored by a lot of people to win the entire tournament.
Yeah, the game was awesome. And before we fully move on, Edwin Diaz, as we record right now, we don't know what happened. We would have told you. He's getting evaluated tomorrow. We know the injury looked bad. He's being evaluated for a right knee injury, but we do not know the extent of it. But not pretty, a freak accident that could and does happen anywhere, as you mentioned. We've seen these injuries happen all over the place. The game itself was one of the best, if not the best, World Baseball Classic game because of the environment, the crowd. It was a sellout crowd in Miami. The energy, the passion, the talent on the field, the superstars, the home runs. Juan Soto with a 450-foot home run to dead center. The defensive plays, Lindor.
His little league inside the park home run.
That was my favorite part.
I mean, that was electric. I mean, I think that's what really turned the momentum onto Puerto Rico's side.
Yeah, the momentum started early on for Puerto Rico, and they got out to that early lead. But the game still kind of had the feeling of, are they really going to beat the Dominican, though? And then this. Francisco Lindor, a line drive to center field, very well hit, gets down, kind of an in-between ball for Julio Rodriguez, and it gets misplayed, funky bounce, gets by him right under the glove, rolls to the wall, and Francisco Lindor makes it all the way around, dives into home. The team dog piles him. The stands are shaking, literally shaking. It was the moment of the game for me, Alex.
The wheels never stopped either. He looked like he might fly over third base and into home. It was magical. Yep. So a lot of great moments today. Pool play is officially done. We're in the quarterfinals. We are moments away from Team Japan taking on Italy. So before we head into the game, I wanna take a look back on your top 5 Team Japan moments of the World Baseball Classic so far.
My top 5 Team Japan moments. Number 5, Shohei Ohtani taking the mound in Game 1. Not just because he's Shohei Ohtani and pitching in Game 1, because of what he means to an entire nation, to multiple nations, to the sport of baseball. I can't stress this enough. What Shohei Ohtani means to the sport of baseball is something that we have never seen. And to have him play over here in the United States and get the opportunity to go back home to Japan, put on that Team Japan jersey, and be the one that takes the mound for the first time in the Tokyo Dome for his team. What a special moment for Shohei. What a special moment for everybody in Japan. 46% of households in Japan were watching that game one. 46%. Almost half of the entire nation was watching that game. That's the importance that Shohei Ohtani has. I felt it when I went over to Japan, and the love and respect that people had for me just for talking about Shohei over here and being as respectful as I am. What a moment. What a day that was. And that's number 5.
What you got at number 4?
Number 4 is Roki Sasaki taking the mound on the anniversary of 3/11/11. On March 11th, 2011, Roki Sasaki was 9 years old when his father and grandparents were taken from him in a deadly tsunami in Japan. Not only deadly for his family, but everybody. It was devastating to the entire nation. So it meant a lot for Roki to get out there on the mound that game, and how awesome for the manager and the team to understand the levity of the situation and allow him to go pitch in that game. But the importance for all of Japan, everybody that was affected. So many people lost their lives, their friends, their family, their acquaintances, their coworkers. Everybody lost somebody. And 12 years later, to the day, to have one of their most prized star pitchers take the mound on the anniversary of that date, it was kind of like hope for everybody, you know, like we're moving along together, and you never forget, but you can help each other move on. And I felt like that day, Roki Sasaki helped the country of Japan continue, though 12 years later, continue to move on.
And what a way to celebrate and honor your family with your family's name on the back of your jersey and your country's name on the front.
So cool.
It doesn't get much more special than that. All right, moving on to number 3, Ohtani's first WBC home run and the fans in the stands passing the home run ball around.
Shohei's first home run was everything you would imagine his first home run in the WBC being. It was crushed. He knew it. He watched it go. It went 448 feet. It hit off of his face, off of the scoreboard. He did the pepper grinder crossing home, everything you could have imagined. And Shohei said, as when he was growing up, it was his dream to hit a home run in the World Baseball Classic. We got to see one of the most special talents of all time ever, and a huge idol in that country and over here as well, accomplish his dream in one of the most iconic venues in the world in front of the Japanese fans and the Japanese people. I mean, how can you not say that? And that's only the first part of it.
Yeah.
The home run ball right after, who was caught by a girl in the stands, was immediately passed around to everybody and anybody in the stands that wanted to see it. So I think you have this combination of Shohei hitting the home run, which was really cool in its own self, and then you got to see the Japanese culture on display and the love and respect and the honor that they have, where their guy just hit a home run, accomplished his dream. You're holding the ball that he quite literally accomplished his dream with in your hands. You're just passing it around to your friends and the people you don't know. So you're allowing them to take pictures, and then the ball ends back up with that girl. So cool. And unfortunately, in the United States, you would never see something like that. And it is super unfortunate and kind of sad when you think about it. And we can all, everybody,
the world,
learn a thing or two or three from the people of Japan and the way that they handle respect and honor and all of that stuff.
I agree. Now, you mentioned icons and superstars. Number 2 moment, Lars Nootbaar is becoming an icon in Japan. And number 2 is when he took the field for the first time for Team Japan.
You know what's cool about this? When he took the field for the first time, I don't know if he had become the icon and the legend that he has now, just a couple of games later. It didn't take him long, but the camera crew just so happened to be on him in that game. Followed him out to center. He gets out there, the crowd going wild. He stops, takes off his hat, and bows to the crowd.
This looks like a movie or a video game as you're watching the video of him going out there and really experiencing that moment of him taking in everything he dreamed about doing one day.
Yeah. You know, I talked to Lars a couple of weeks ago, right before he left for the World Baseball Classic. So, one, if you haven't watched that episode with Lars Nootbaar, everything you want to know about him, we talk about why he's playing for Team Japan, how it happened, which is a great story in itself. Check out that episode as well with Lars. It's just a couple of weeks ago, full episode with him. But he has become an icon.
Yeah.
Legitimately, right in front of our eyes. We've seen it happen out there. He's ended up being the perfect piece for this team, but just the amount of the amount of notoriety and publicity and everything around him because of the person he is. He's such a great guy. He's the perfect fit for that team. He is taking the nation by storm. So for me, the moment number 2 is just Lars Nootbaar taking the field in game 1 and bowing to the crowd.
I love it. All right. We've made it to our number 1 moment. The pepper grinder taking over Japan.
Speaking of Lars Nootbaar, the reason that he has become, one of the reasons he's become the icon that he has, is he brought the pepper grinder with him to Japan. It's his celebration. Now the entire team does it. You can look in the stadium, watch the game tonight. You will see tens of thousands of pepper grinders. Pepper grinders are sold out all across Japan. Everywhere you go, you can't find pepper grinders. They're all sold out. It's because of him. The entire team does the celebration. In fact, soccer players in Japan are now doing the exact same celebration. It has gone global. He has taken the world by storm. Lars Nootbaar and the pepper grinder.
Even the little leaguers.
Look at this. How special.
It's the national celebration in Japan. The talk show host, the little leaguers.
So cool.
Oh, that's
Lars
great.
Nootbaar and the pepper grinder. It's number 1. And watch the game tonight. There will be tons of them.
I can't wait. We are moments away from first pitch.
All right, Alex.
So
you know
let's
what that
get
means.
into predictions. What you got?
My prediction is Team Japan wins 8-2.
Okay.
Italy has a strong offense. They're going up against, admittedly, strong pitching.
Yeah.
I think they can get some runs on the board. I think Team Japan takes care of work. They're the most sound and all-around team in this tournament, and I think they show that and show out in front of their home fans one final time in the Tokyo Dome.
All right, we're close. I am also taking Team Japan, and I also believe that Italy will put 2 runs on the board, but I believe Japan's going to put up a 10 spot and win this game 10-2.
All right. I love it. Team Japan is about to take the field for one final time in the Tokyo Dome. I'm rocking the Team Japan jersey. What a night. If they win, they're heading to Miami, and guess who is also heading to Miami? Alex and I.
We are!
As soon as we leave here, we're going home. We're watching the game. And then we're going to hop on a plane and head to Miami. And we're going to bring the rest of the tournament to all of you guys from Miami, as we have been this whole time, trying our best to update you at every single corner. So thank you all for watching this preview of Team Japan against Team Italy in the second quarterfinal of the tournament. Good luck to Team Japan.
It's showtime.
Good luck to Team Italy. I have friends on that team as well. It's going to be quite the matchup indeed. And I do believe in the end, Team Japan comes out victorious. Go team, go. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Flippin' Bats Pod. Subscribe to it, Apple or Spotify. You can also watch on YouTube as you are, or follow on all social media as well. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Anywhere you can imagine, at Flippin' Bats Pod for all of them. So everybody, enjoy the game. Good luck to Team Japan. Good luck to everybody watching. And Alex and I, we will see you from Miami.